Okay, hello everyone. Welcome to another edition of the Virtual Cooking Club. Thank you for joining us today. We're excited to jump in and talk about a few different topics today. We'll hit on some beef nutrition as well as our recipe this week, the beefy 7-layer dip. So I'm your host today. My name is Taylor Young. I'm the Director of Consumer Affairs for the Missouri Beef Industry Council. So what I do in my role is I serve as kind of a liaison between the beef industry and other professional organizations that interact with consumers. So I work with consumers to help grow the demand for beef. I do a lot of educational efforts, working a lot with food services, retail, and wholesale grocers, as well as working with different healthcare professionals such as physicians and dietitians to help educate them about the beef industry and the nutrition that comes along with beef, so they can help pass that message along to the people that they work with as well. So as I mentioned today, we're going to talk a little bit about the different nutritional benefits that can come from including beef in your diet. The first thing, oops, hang on, sorry, it's jumping ahead on me. Oops. Okay, here we go. First, beef is an excellent source of protein in your diet. There's a lot of benefits when adding beef to your diet to get essentially more bang for your buck when it comes to beef and the amount of protein that you're getting. Beef gives your body more of the high quality protein that you need to achieve and maintain a healthy weight, and also help to preserve and build muscle. So why focus on protein? Over here on the right of the screen, you can see that a 3-ounce serving of beef provides you with 25 grams of protein and 10 essential nutrients in one tasty package. So when you think of that, a 3-ounce serving, that's not very big, but that it provides you with enough protein and 10 essential nutrients. And those 25 grams of protein is actually half of your daily recommended value of protein. So some other benefits that come, heart healthy diets with high quality of lean protein helps lower cholesterol and reduce the risk of chronic disease and reduce the risk of high blood pressure. So finding those lean cuts of beef can really help with heart health. Protein also helps support strong, lean bodies. Working out. You can get a lot of benefits from adding protein and specifically beef in your diet when it comes to workouts. Studies show exercise is more effective when paired with a high protein diet, and beef provides amino acids necessary for building and replenishing muscles. We actually here with the Beef Industry Council have kind of a program called Team Beef, where we work with runners across the state. When they're running, 5Ks, marathons, that kind of stuff, they can wear a Team Beef jersey and kind of help advocate about why including beef in their diet is important as athletes. So that's something to keep in mind. Beef can be awesome to help you with workouts, whatever sports you're playing. It helps keep you full and gives you those extra nutrients that are needed for that. Another benefit is also people who eat a high protein diet feel more satisfied, which can help you from overeating. When you're getting more out of your meal, a higher protein, you're feeling full longer, not going back for snacks and that kind of thing. So just some things to keep in mind, the benefits of the high quality protein that comes from beef. I love this chart. This is a great example. As I mentioned, that 3-ounce serving of beef provides 25 grams of protein. And here you can see how that compares to different protein sources. For quinoa, to get that same 25 grams of protein, it would take 3 cups of quinoa, which would be 666 calories in that serving. Peanut butter, it would take 6.5 tablespoons. Also, pretty high calories in that serving to get your 25 grams of protein. You can see black beans and edamame and how those compare in terms of calories for the protein. And then as you can see, beef, just those 3 ounces is only a little over 170 calories for that 25 grams of protein. So just a comparison here to think about, what some substitutes would look like and how that would compare in terms of the amount needed and how many calories it would take to get to that 25 grams of protein. And as I mentioned earlier, that 3-ounce serving of beef has 10 essential nutrients in it in just that small amount. So that's awesome. Beef, it has a great taste, as well as serving as an excellent source of high quality protein, as well as 9 other essential nutrients. And we'll jump into that now. So as I've mentioned, a 3-ounce serving of cooked beef gives your body 10 essential nutrients. And of those 10 essential nutrients, every one of them, one serving gives you over 10% of the daily recommended value. So as we've mentioned, protein is the top one. As I said before, one serving of beef gives you over half of your daily value for protein. You can see that in the 51%. You're also getting awesome benefits of iron in that with 14% of your daily value. Zinc coming in at almost 40%, and selenium almost 40 as well. Some other essential nutrients that you're getting with that 1 3-ounce serving of beef: vitamin B6, niacin, B3, riboflavin, vitamin B12, choline, and also phosphorus. So this is an awesome chart. This is part of one of the handouts that we have on the Beef It's What's for Dinner website, talking about the Big 10. And you can see just kind of what each of these essential nutrients is giving your body in the little paragraph below it. Another awesome resource that Beef It's What's for Dinner has is something that's called Beef in the Early Years, that talks about incorporating beef into the diet of young children and how that can be very instrumental in fostering good growth in them. So here's a picture from the Beef in the Early Years campaign that we have. And then also the American Academy of Pediatrics, the Women, Infants and Children's Program, and now recently, for the first time ever, the Dietary Guidelines for Americans recommends introducing solid foods such as beef to infants and toddlers in order to pack every bite with protein, iron, zinc, and choline. And if you'll remember, protein, iron, zinc, and choline were in those top 10 for everyone, those essential nutrients that beef gives you. So that's an awesome way to get those added nutrients to children when they're young. Here's kind of a chart talking about the essential nutrients in every bite for the children. Protein, that's essential for physical growth and development. Kids, they're very active, so getting them good sources of protein to help fuel that is important. Zinc, again, it's essential for growth, cognitive development, and immune function, helping them build healthy immune systems. The vitamin B6, it's vital for the development of brain and nervous system. Vitamin B12, again, supports brain development and also producing healthy red blood cells. And then choline, another one that helps supports that brain development and activity. And then iron, that's essential for various metabolic processes, growth, neurological development, and immune function. So you can see, as I mentioned earlier, you're getting a lot of bang for your buck when incorporating beef into your diet. And especially in those early years, it's essential to get those nutrients to children as they're growing. And beef is an awesome source to be able to get that. Beyond, its nutritional benefits, every bite of beef delivers new flavors and textures to support infants' growth. Something that I was reading, a lot of doctors recommend introducing, not just different foods, but different textures as well, to get children used to that as they're growing. So kind of touched on in the previous slide, good oral and motor development, incorporating beef can help enhance, discovery learning, acceptance of new and healthy foods too. So getting them used to those different things is important. And experts recommend 1 to 2 ounces per day of animal-based foods, such as beef, for children. And here at the bottom of the chart, you can see the different textures and kind of when they're recommended to start introducing to your children. Of course, if you have questions about starting solid foods, talk with your physician or healthcare provider, your pediatrician, for more specifics, but this is kind of a rough guideline to go off of. Around 6 months, you can start doing, introducing the pureed beef, more of that creamy texture. 6 to 8 months, ground beef is good, getting that little bit more solid texture, and introducing in, and then 8 to 10 months, the stewed beef. And here's a fun little video that Beef It's What's for Dinner has put together, talking about learning to feed your children beef in the early years. Here we go.
Yummy.
Nothing to baby bites.
Some beef? We're gonna start off with some beef. She loves beef. This is like the first meal we started her on. Beef is such a staple for us at home. Beef's been a part of our family's culture and diet for a really long time. Gosh, I think since I was a baby, I've been eating beef. Everyone in our family does. I think it's exciting, honestly, that some of the science is coming out and saying that you can feed beef earlier to kids. They can actually start eating beef a lot earlier than you think. Juju has been eating beef since 7 months old, I think. 9 months of age.
Right around 6 months, 5-6 months.
So at first it was just ground beef and purees, and now we love steak. It's a good source of protein, zinc, iron, which is really important for kids.
Yeah, I love feeding the kids beef because I know they're going to grow up and it's going to help make them strong and tall. And it's got all the good proteins that we're looking for.
We're eating beef anyway. My husband and I are eating oatmeal and rice cereal for dinner. And it's incredibly versatile, so you can find a lot of different ways to prepare it throughout the week. Chuck roast in the slow cooker. Beefy breakfast sausage. Deconstructed hamburger, as I like to call it. Want Daddy to make his brisket this week?
Actually, tonight we're having fillets.
We put it in tacos.
Yeah, you're like a tomahawk steak kind of guy. You can serve it breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I just feel like beef is also in so many of our memories. I think we're definitely carrying that tradition on. And then we got the smoker going. It was just kind of a Saturday, but the two of us got to create some old memories.
Cheers. That's yummy. Thank you. Oh gosh. Uh-oh. I'm tired. Good.
Yeah, so as you can see, the children seem to really enjoy it in their meals. And as one of the mothers said, the parents, you guys may be eating beef anyways. So there's definitely ways that you can find that to incorporate into the children's diet as well. And as we mentioned, so many health benefits, getting those essential nutrients to the children as they're growing is so vital. And beef is an awesome way to get that to them. So now I'll touch a little bit on beef and heart health. Beef It's What's for Dinner has some awesome resources. There are definitely ways that you can incorporate beef into your diet and keep your heart healthy. So here's some different ways, look for those lean beef cuts at the meat counter. There are more than 36 different cuts of beef that meet the government guidelines for lean. So that's really reassuring. There's lots of choices out there to get beef into your diet and keep it in that lean category. A good tip for finding cuts of beef that are lean are to look for the terms round and loin in the name of it. So like sirloin, tenderloin, eye of round, those are good indicators that that is a lean cut of beef and be good to put into your diet. Also, of course, keep portion size in mind. We've been mentioning a 3-ounce serving cooked portion of beef as kind of the standard. That is sensible and satisfying, gets you your protein requirements. And so keeping that, keep your portion size in mind as well when you're looking for a heart healthy lifestyle. And a good rule is a 3-ounce serving of beef is about the size of a deck of cards or maybe kind of a smartphone. I mean, smartphones are pretty big nowadays. So maybe think a deck of cards for that visible factor. Also, of course, to keep it more heart healthy, trim away any visible fat before cooking or serving. From the cooked beef before serving, make sure you just trim that off. You probably wouldn't want to eat it anyways. That kind of lowers some of those and keeps it a little more heart healthy. And also when it comes to lowering cholesterol, small steps can be big results. The American Heart Association recommends eating a variety of nutritious foods from all food groups. And so when you're choosing meats, again, look for those leanest cuts available, trim away the visible fat, and prepare them in healthy, delicious ways. Think things like broiling, roasting, or poaching. And then when you're looking for a side dish to pair them with, look for a side, that's rich in fiber, different vegetables, fruits, and whole grains to incorporate with that. You know, there's definitely heart healthy ways to incorporate beef. And on the Beef It's What's for Dinner website, there is a whole recipe collection that's heart healthy recipes. And every recipe in this category has been certified as heart healthy by the American Heart Association. So if you go to the Beef It's What's for Dinner website, click on the recipe categories, that'll take you to different recipe collections. And there's a heart healthy group within that. And you can scroll through those and see different heart healthy recipes that the Beef It's What's for Dinner has to offer. And like I said, they're all certified by the American Heart Association. So you kind of feel good going into that. You're getting some great nutritional benefits from that. All right, so the recipe that we are going to talk about today is a 1 skillet beefy 7-layer dip. I thought that that was really relevant for this time of year. It's big, you know, sports season. And I know personally, I like to always eat snacks when watching different sport games. So this is one that I thought would be fun, that I'd like to try and that people may want to try as well. It's a great dip. It takes a pound of ground beef in the form of a Mexican style beef sausage, and we'll talk a little bit more about that in a bit. It has onions, sour cream, tomato paste, tomatoes, black beans, corn, green chilies, some jalapenos, and then topped with cilantro, cumin, and chili powder, and then covered with cheese. So as you can see, you get your 7 layers from the different veggies that are in there, and all the flavors blend together so nicely for a great dip. And it's a very hearty and filling dip as well. So the Mexican style beef sausage, that is another recipe on the Beef It's What's for Dinner website. This is great. You know, you can use it in a dip anytime you're wanting to incorporate ground beef, but have a little bit more flavor with it. Any sort of Mexican dish you're making, or just whatever you want to just spice up a little bit. This Mexican style beef sausage is a great recipe to try. It's very simple. As I said, it takes 1 pound of ground beef. You mix together some red wine vinegar, oregano, paprika, chili powder, garlic powder, salt, and some chipotle chili powder. Mix that into the beef before you cook it. Get that mixed together as, you know, a seasoned sausage would be before you cook it. And then you cook it, and just adds a little bit of extra flavor and spices to that. So now we will jump into the cooking recipe for this week and kind of bringing this all together.
Hi, thanks for joining us again for another episode of the Virtual Cooking Club. Today we are doing a 1 skillet beefy 7-layer dip. This is a perfect recipe to have at your next party or gathering. It features a Mexican style ground beef sausage along with other Mexican style fillings for this cheesy party favorite. So the first thing we will do is preheat the oven to 350 degrees. After preheating your oven, we will add some diced onions with some oil into the pan and cook those for about 5 minutes or until they're soft. Alright, once your onions are soft, we're going to add in the Mexican style beef sausage. The Mexican style beef sausage, that's another recipe that you can find on beefeatswhatsfordinner.com. We're going to cook this all together, mix the onions and the beef together, and get that cooking for just a few minutes to kind of merge. Okay, once you have this all cooked together, you're going to turn off the heat, remove it from the heat, and add in the tomato paste and sour cream. Alright, we're going to stir this all together. So that's mixed together. We're going to top it with the tomatoes. Put all the vegetables on there, getting our 7 layers. Chilies. And the jalapenos. Add the black beans. Kind of smooth this over, get everything evened out on there. All right, let's sprinkle the top with cilantro. And then add the cumin and chili powder. And then we will cover the top with some Mexican style cheese. And then we will pop this in the oven for about 20 minutes or until the cheese is golden brown on top. All right, I'll set the timer. All right. All right, as you can see, the cheese is melting across the top. So it is ready to serve. Find your favorite chips and enjoy.
All right, so there was our recipe this week. As I mentioned, the Beef It's What's for Dinner website, it'll go a lot more in depth into a lot of those nutritional aspects that we covered today. There's a lot of great resources, kind of anything you're looking for. The website's awesome. Take a look at that. If you want to dive deeper into the nutrition, feel free to reach out to me or ask any questions you have on that front. I also want to say a huge thank you to Coleman Appliance in Jeff City. They're awesome to work with and let us go shoot our cooking videos there. So if anyone has any questions, feel free to reach out. If not, thank you for joining us today. We're enjoying doing this program.